Hey everybody, we are and you are looking live at Eduardo Escobar. He is right at Alameda County headquarters. And pan around where you are right now real quick, if you would do that.
What's that? Say that again.
Pan around. Show us your surroundings.
Presently the Board of Supervisors on the first level.
Yeah, my old stomping grounds. The security area is over there. That's where you
right.
And check your bags and stuff.
So we're in front of the elevator area because we're at the Board of Supervisors, and Keith Carson, he's basically his last kind of hurrah today.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're giving him a send-off. So our folks are there to remind him about, we need to have accountability in the Registrar's office.
Mm-hmm.
It's Tim Dupuis. And so that's what the purpose of today's action that we did out in front of the Board of Supervisors, which was right out in front of security that you saw there.
Hey, real quick.
So, yeah.
What do you think? Why do you think Tim is being allowed to last?
Well, I'll put that question back to you. He's the manager of IT, and he's been at ROV for 12 years, since 2012. So if you're the manager of IT and you have backdoor access to communication channels, emails, everyone's, I think that you already know the answer. That perhaps people don't want to step on eggshells here.
No, this is say it. That's not about the people who.
Well, I think that people are concerned. I think they're concerned. They're concerned that since he is the manager of IT, which has to do with technology, then he has access to everyone's communications. That's emails, text, everything. So, as they say, it can and will be used against you. So,
yeah, but I got to ask you though. I mean, it begs the question. I mean, it doesn't say anything about leadership to allow somebody like that to stick around, as opposed to changing the situation. Because think about your statement to its logical conclusion. You're saying, well, he's got all their controls, and therefore they're afraid to can him. I mean, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah. Hello. It's not sounds like. That's exactly what I said. Yeah.
Well, don't you think that's a sad situation that shouldn't be? What does it say for leadership that they allow a person to actually?
That's why we're calling them out here. That's why we're doing what we're doing, is because no one has had the moxie to do what we're doing. And since we've had the success of the recalls, we've got a lot of momentum with the media, and they love what we're doing. So, I mean, we're continuing to fight the fight, and it's basically government accountability from leadership. And right now, lack of accountability, no consequences. So what's happening is these folks are basically getting away with not doing their job as well as they could. I mean, the bottom line is this, is that voters deserve better. The voters deserve better. The electorate, which includes all the even the non-voters, right, that are not registered, but they could vote if they were registered. But so all that huge potential, right? Even the folks that vote, Zenny, what's the percentage of the folks that vote compared to the overall folks that reside in the county of Alameda? So you're looking at what? Half? Less than half? Less than half. Yeah, because it's close to 1 million in the county, and then you have under 500,000 that vote. So, and then if we look at that, let's look at where these folks that are really doing the voting and where they're originating from. And it's in the areas that are like North Oakland and Berkeley. A lot of them are educated white folks, to be quite honest. I'm Hispanic. Yeah, I know people, they say, hey, you're a white guy and stuff. But I'm Cuban and Puerto Rican. I'm fluent in Spanish. I'm Cuban and Puerto Rican, and I'm fluent in Spanish. So hablo español. So I'm connected with my culture and my community. But I care about everyone. It's not about color, it's about character. And everyone needs to step up their game. So brown, black, all people of color, Asian, whites. I mean, everyone needs to step up their game for community, because we're losing that. We're losing it. And that's why you see like this extreme crime wave, everything that's going on here. Why? Back in the day when everybody knew everyone's family, no one would dare do this, because, families were like extended families, and they would tell on you, or they would discipline you themselves, because parents gave permission to spank other kids. That's how it was, because everyone cared about each other's kids. Now, all that's changed. All that's changed. Kids are going around committing elder abuse, punching older folks in the face and everything. Is doing what they're doing. In part two, they're getting played.
The law allows it, basically.
Well, it's encouraging it because there's no consequences.
Right.
If there's no consequences, then what do you expect? And it's not just that. These kids are being recruited by these organized crime rings. And these organized crime rings are taking advantage of these kids' lack of, what would you say, mental development and maturity to know any better. And they sell them, hey, this is cool. We're going to go and do this, and just like in the thug videos and everything, and you're going to get some money in your pocket, and you get what I'm saying? And so they buy it because there's the glorification, this worship of that culture, and that's not how Zenny. That's not how we grew up, and you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So that's like, we're just trying to get back to the basics here. We want public safety, and I worked for Palo Alto Police Department, Palo Alto PD, in crime prevention. So I'm familiar with the underbelly of how the police department works in law enforcement. There's good cops, there's some bad cops in there, and they need to be weeded out, of course. And when it comes to the OPD, law enforcement, they can do better. They need to do better, much better. But it's it's up to us to hold them accountable, and defunding all that nonsense is not the solution. What we need to do is greater accountability, and we need to focus on crime prevention, because if you focus on crime prevention, then what can you do? You are eliminating the need to persecute or chase someone, right? A crime that's been occurred. You deter the crime to begin with, so there's no damage to the business community, to the individual. You don't have to pursue the criminal. You don't have to detain them. You don't have to incarcerate and prosecute them. You don't have to incarcerate them, and then you don't have to, the reintegration into society. You don't have to.
Hey, one thing, can we get
saves a lot of money?
Can we get back to the main subject of Tim Dupuis? Why do you want him to resign?
Failed policies come from failed leadership, and the way the election's been mismanaged and mishandled, we're not having the best of the best in terms of candidates floating to the top. Through the RCV, ranked choice, or we call it rigged choice voting, we're seeing that there's a manipulation of elections that's going on. Well, a lot of that empowerment is being done because of this gray area and uncertainty and the disenfranchisement and marginalization of communities that could vote and their voices could be heard. A lot in the D6 and D7 areas of Oakland in particular, they're impacted the most by these failed policies, but they're discouraged the most too to not participate, because the RCV, the ranked choice voting, makes this overly complicated. We need to simplify the voting process so that you get one person, one vote, and not complicate it so that people are put off about participating in the civic duty of voting and having their voice heard. Your vote is your voice. And so what they do is they set up the complications so that way people are discouraged from participating and voting, and that's what we're seeing here. Dupuis has not facilitated a user-friendly approach. On the contrary, he's made things more complicated, and he feels that he does not have to communicate with the Board of Supervisors, which are his boss. I mean, ultimately, who's his boss? It's us. Right, Zenny?
Yep.
Taxpayer. We're the boss. The electorate is their boss. The Board of Supervisors are supposed to provide the oversight. And as an example, look at San Mateo County. You see what's going on with Sheriff of San Mateo County over there? They're looking to fire that sheriff. Those folks are being proactive in that county over there. So if they're doing that over there, San Mateo County has a lot of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're doing it over there. Why can't they do that here? Why can't they do that here? So they need to be proactive. And that's what the Board of Supervisors need to do. They need to grow a pair, and they need to step up their game and be proactive about taking care of business. This guy has been allowed to be in office way too long, excessively too long. And he has had a tete-a-tete with Keith Carson. And a lot of the Board of Supervisors, quite frankly, don't care for him. His demeanor, he thinks that he's the king and that he's the autocrat there, the dictator. And that's not how it's supposed to be. So he managed the IT department, as we talked about earlier. The guy makes, between the two jobs that he has with the ROV and managing the IT department, this guy's making about $500,000, you know, with benefits and pensions on top of his salary. And yet we're not getting $500,000 worth of work and quality. It's utterly ridiculous just to see this going on and to be allowed to go on and on and on for so long. Hey, Derek, I'm on here with Zenny. Yeah, see it. Derek Barnes. Yeah, with Ebra. Mm-hmm. So we're, like I said, we're at the Board of Supervisors. They're upstairs doing a send-off for Carson. But we also want to let him know, and the Board of Supervisors, though, you know, yeah, celebratory, but there's areas too that they've been dropping the ball, and they could do better. The bottom line is voters deserve better. We, the residents, the business owners, the communities of Alameda County deserve much better. And we can do that. You saw that we were able to do with the DAs for Alameda County, the DA's recall, right? And also the Mayor Sheng Tao's recall. So if we could do that, we could do more. And a lot more. And so what we accomplished with the recalls is basically firing a shot over the bow of failed leaders, that you cannot stay in office just because you were elected, because you were able to squeak in there to the ranked choice voting and barely make it because of the special interests. You know, you have the union leadership and the nonprofit grifters that are there combined, the special interests, not just their money, but it's also their influence, also their phone banking. They do phone banking, they do door knocking for candidates. But what happens when special interests put these candidates in place? Then it's a quid pro quo, and they're expecting favors in return. And that's where you have Oakland being set up for failure and being pushed into bankruptcy, because it's not sustainable. The high salaries for these union workers, this money that's being diverted, cronyism to the nonprofits. All of this is not sustainable for Oakland, and it's tanking the city of Oakland. They want to put all the blame on OPD overtime. Now, as I mentioned earlier, OPD needs to step up their game. Of course they do. They need to be more effective and more efficient. But if you have less in terms of staffing and people on the streets, then what do you have to do? You got to work those people even more hours. So it's going to be automatic by default. You're going to have more and more overtime. So they need to hire more instead of these defunders that have done the damage, and they've done it for performative politics. These ideologues that don't care about what's going on in the street. They don't care about the people in the community. They don't care about the businesses that are suffering and people are dying. They don't care about that. All they care about is getting elected and reelected, and their cronyism and these special interest folks keeping them in office. And then they're looking at their next steps that they take, right? Like Nikki Bass, she's going to Board of Supervisors. Like, how is it that you fail upwards? How is that? Like, she's leaving a dumpster fire of Oakland behind, and she's moving to the countywide level, which is 14 cities and 5 unincorporated areas. And she's going to be managing funds. You're talking about $5 billion plus of funds. And so, how do we see that happening? But that's the power of special interest. That's the power of special interest. You talk to anyone on the street, they say, look, what's going on here in Oakland? I don't know what. And Oakland has become the brunt of jokes nationally. You know, the Republicans have used that as the Achilles heel of Gavin Newsom, the governor. He wants to run for president. He can't even handle these cities in his own backyard. How can he handle the whole country? You see what I'm saying? That can and will be used against him. So Governor Newsom, he also needs to step up his game. We do thank him for sending more CHP officers and also sending the JAG Corps to help with prosecuting in the Alameda County District Attorney's Office. But, you know, she refused to work with them, and that's why she's now gone. You know, Shane Tao did not want to declare a state of emergency. That's why she is now gone. She did a lot of bait and switch and false promises and did not deliver. We don't see the results on the streets. Talk to anyone on the streets. These people, they lie. They say crime is down. No, the reporting of crime is down because you can't even get into 9/11. You can't even get someone, an operator there to dispatch for you because you're left on hold. So what do people do? They hang up. You talk to many people, they'll tell you the truth. It's out there. But what they want to do is alter the truth and manipulate it and use it for their own benefit. It's ulterior motives and hidden agendas. Entirely unacceptable. That's why, like, these folks here, this is about when you go into a political office, your civic duty. You're supposed to be there and put the people first. These folks are putting profits, their self-gain, ahead of everything else. And it's just unacceptable. It's unacceptable. And that's why we do what we do. You know? So I'm long-winded, I know.
No,
But
I didn't say that.
What's that?
I didn't say that. You did.
No, I know. I because, you know, I get on this soapbox here, and I get so passionate about it, and that's why, you know, we're so focused on really trying to bring some great things to the table, really to give Oakland a chance to succeed and not just barely survive, because that's what we're seeing here. And
Do you plan to go right to Keith and talk with him? I mean, he's out the door anyway, but
they know us already. We do go and speak at the BOS, the board of supervisors.
Oh, I know that, but
in public comments, but
I know that. I'm saying right now, you're at the county offices.
Mm-hmm.
You're there for Keith's send-off. Do you plan to talk to Keith about this?
Well, I'm not here for Keith's send-off. I'm here for our voice to be heard about Tim Dupuis, you know.
Oh, okay. Because no, you did say you were here for the send-off earlier. I mean, I could roll back.
The send-off is here because why? Because you have to have an agenda item there that you can have an opportunity to speak on. Otherwise, you're shut down. So you have to find some opening to get in there and try to loosely connect it to something else. And that way they have to listen to you and they don't shut down your microphone. That's why we do that.
And that's why you're there.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Just ask. Yeah, trying to get an idea for the strategy. And then,
that's it. That's the entire strategy.
And then after that, you're going to Lake Chalet for a late lunch, right?
No, actually going to Buttercup.
Now go to Lake Chalet. Buttercup, forget my friend Laura. Go to
Buttercup on Broadway in Jacqueline. It has history for me.
Over to Lake Chalet. Tell Laura and Gara that Zenny sent you. All right, and then tell them
I'll have to do that another time. We already have a meeting set up.
No, you're going to do it today. Tell them Zenny told you to give him half price. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm serious. I'm serious about that. You walk in there, say, hey, Zenny said, give me half price on your fantastic salad. You know.
And what is he going to do? Throw me out on my backside? Is that what you're trying to set me up?
No, you say you're gonna give him great pub and everything else because Zenny loves you all, and then
Right.
Zenny will tell him Zenny will pay the difference.
Right. Send them the bill across the country. Right. You're so
Across
clever.
the country.
So yeah,
It's called Cash App. Me cry. They're my
I
friends.
know. I
They're
know
my
that.
friends, dude.
I
This is the
hear
21st century.
you.
I can be anywhere at any time I
Yeah.
need to be. It's the tech, man.
True.
Hey, they're
No, I
only
got you. I got
they're
you.
they're only a what is it? They're only a push button away, literally. That's
Yeah.
the neat thing
Stones
about
throw
it.
away electronically.
Well,
Yeah.
push button.
So
I don't.
anyhow, yeah, go ahead. You're going to say.
No. You're saying you talk. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, we're going to stick with this matter until we get the results that we're looking for with Tim Dupuis. And people are saying, oh, well, hey, you don't want to be disruptive to the election process right now because special elections are coming up. But how it works with these folks is that you have to get the ball rolling like way ahead of time before you even start to see results. So it's not like from one day to the next that, boom, this guy's going to get fired. If they haven't fired him in 12 years, come on. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So common sense says we got to get that moving and for them to take us seriously. And that's why I draw the correlation between what San Mateo County has been demonstrating for them to take action and say, hey, if they do it in San Mateo County against the San Mateo County Sheriff, they could do it here as well. Like, look into that. Look what they're doing over there. The bottom line is we need to affect positive change on a grand scale for the people of Oakland and Alameda County. And also to Oakland impacts adjacent communities as well as Alameda County impacts adjacent counties as well. So Oakland, we want to be known for good behavior and not bad behavior spreading throughout the county of Alameda County as well as adjoining counties, Contra Costa County, San Francisco County, and so on and so forth. So that's where we're at, Zenny. That's what we're up to. So
all right, boss. Hey, go and get done. Hey, by the way, in less than 2 hours at the top of the hour, just after 5 minutes after the top of the hour at 4 o'clock, Renia Webb will be my guest to talk about her run for mayor of Oakland.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah,
excellent. We're in the trenches. We're in the trenches there too. We're trying to work with candidates to cultivate the best possible candidate and candidates because there's going to be D2, right, in old Nikki Bass's territory.
So what do you think of Renia Webb, though? What do you think of Renia Webb?
I think she has huge possibilities. But I think the trick nowadays is about ranked choice voting slate team. You got to run a slate of candidates. So if she's receptive to that, then there may be possibilities. But if Barbara Lee does end up throwing in her hat into the ring last minute, then that'll throw a huge mix up for people, and some will bounce out as well.
Yeah, well,
so they don't want to go up against Barbara Lee. At least the perception of Barbara Lee winning.
Right.
What's that?
I
say that again.
I said, do you think Barbara Lee will win? As opposed to something coming out.
If she enters the race, I think she can try to win, but I think that they haven't been up against. Yeah, I think they haven't been up against what we could bring to the table. So the bottom line is we want the best fit. Who's going to
So you're not backing Barbara, is what you're telling me.
I'm backing whomever's going to be up to doing the job that's necessary for Oakland. They have to be willing to take on the unions and renegotiate contracts and do a lot of house cleaning. And so any candidate who's willing to do that, then we're willing to consider supporting them and backing them for sure. Yeah. Bottom line, I'm not into the cult of personality. I don't believe in that. I want to see your actions, your deeds, your policies, and that you're definitely going to be committed to executing. Yeah.
So Barbara Lee,
the talk is done.
So Barbara Lee announces you're not automatically behind her.
No, I don't do automatic by default for anything.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, they have to earn that.
All right. Well, sir.
Thanks for the exposure.
Oh, hey, thanks for coming on. I was going to ask if there's anything else you wanted to add. That's what my next question was.
Well, stay tuned to what we're doing because there's a lot of great things down in the pipeline here that are soon to come. So it's all positive. It's very exciting, actually, and great times of change that are afoot here. So look forward to a lot of great positive outcomes and movement here. And we want your support, everyone out there. Please support what we're doing because it is for a positive grassroots, nonpartisan movement.
Hey, so when you get up to the mic, tell them that you were just on Zenny 62 Media.
Right. If I get back to the mic, yeah, you know how that is, controlled. So
well, that's okay. You know, hey, you take it. You take your shots.
Yeah, you got it.
Thanks.
All right,
Thanks,
sir.
Todd. Thanks, buddy.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, I'll see you. Okay, hey, you know what? You don't have to do anything. I'll just end the stream, folks. Oh, here, wait. Seneca has chimed in. Seneca says, fire that criminal. Then he says, weak talent for mayor. And then he says, they're going to make me run. And then he says, Lee has not even declared she wants to be ensured victory as possible. So there are their comments from Seneca.
So there you have it.
Right.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah, he's on point.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Zenny. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you. And thank you, everybody else. Well, thank you, everybody. See ya. Thank you for your time, folks. We'll be back at 4 o'clock. Actually, I'll be back sooner than that because there's 2 other items of news I need to get out. One of them has to do with the Browns benching of Jameis Winston, which has already cost them prime time exposure on television. And the other is the fact that resort fees in Las Vegas are now declared illegal. All right, we'll see ya.